Hello Commanders, Commander Plater here, back again with another Elite Dangerous video. This is part 2 of me looking at the training missions and trying to take an objective look at them and trying to work out how much of an impact they would have made to my game when I first started, I guess. So first thing, obviously I've covered the basic flight training, the docking and travel training, combat training, and also the advanced combat training already. If you want to have a look at them, go and check out the channel, it'll be on there. Also I'll put the link in the description for this video as well. So, we're on to mining training. Now, mining is something I've not done a lot of. I've kind of done what I needed to, I guess, with it. So, I guess let's have a look at it and see what it's about and see how it goes. Okay, so it's all very quiet so far. Oh.
Hello again, Commander. You know, being a combat pilot isn't the only way to make a living. Sometimes it's a good option to retreat to an asteroid belt for some mining. You never know, if you strike a rich vein of ore, there could be some credits to be made. I've been told this particular belt has some valuable ore on offer. So let's get to work. If you deploy your hard points, I'll wait here and keep an eye out for any pirate activity.
Now they talk about, like, veins of ore. Now, that isn't actually a thing. So...
Power plant capacity exceeded.
Whoa, okay. It looks like you maxed out your power plant. No need to panic. Your ship has insufficient power for all your active modules. The shield generator is probably draining the most juice, so you better deactivate it by disengaging it in your modules panel.
Thrusters online.
Okay, so I've done that.
Just so you know, your oxygen will eventually deplete. No pressure, but clock's ticking.
This is a classic example of me getting ahead of myself there. I changed its priority to 2, so it means that when I'm short on power, it gets shut off first of all. So we are going to shut it off.
First things first, you need to approach one of these rocks. So pick a rock, any rock. Don't be overwhelmed by the options, Commander. They're all pretty much the same.
Okay, I'm going to pick this one that's here. Oh, we'll go for the closest one. That makes more sense. They talk about hitting rich veins.
Right.
I don't know what that's
Let's
about.
take a chunk out of this asteroid. Point and shoot, Commander. Good job. The chunk is broken off. If you target it, you'll be able to scoop it up. Palladium. You got lucky, Commander. You're gonna need to deploy your cargo scoop if you want to retrieve the fragment.
Cargo scoop deployed.
Now keep an eye on the cargo scooping reticule to the left of your radar. Make sure your speed's under 40 and use this to guide your ship in gently to scoop up the ore.
What do they say? Guide it in gently. Probably not one of my strong points.
Good job. The ore's safely on board. Now you need to fill up your hopper with enough of the stuff to be able to refine one canister. Why don't you keep mining this asteroid until you have enough ore? Once your resource bin is full, your refinery should kick into action. And then, you'll have a canister of pure palladium in your cargo hold. Ka-ching.
Now, it's safe to say this is all best case scenario mining, and when you're actually mining game, you never get just one thing come out at a time.
Congratulations on a job well done, Commander. This palladium should fetch a good price when you get back to port. You know, if you decide to make a go at mining, you might want to think about picking up some collector drones. And believe me, they'll greatly increase your productivity.
Now they say that, but I feel like they don't tell you how to use them. Is there an advanced mining module one? I don't think there is. So that was pretty simple mining stuff, I guess, and it's pretty self-explanatory. Now they could do an advanced mining training, because something they don't tell you is when you do the mining itself and you're using collector limpets, you need to actually buy limpets in the first place, have a controller, assign them to a fire group, and open your cargo scoop, because if you don't open your cargo scoop, you're not going to be able to collect them up. But that's something they don't tell you. But hey. Okay, so next up what we'll do is we'll have a look at the SRV training. Now, obviously this is only available if you have Horizons, and oh look, they've put us in a Diamondback something. I'm not very good with being able to tell the difference between the two, if I'm honest. But yep, so they put it in one of these. So I'm going to hopefully assume they're going to go over a planetary landing. That'd be good.
Got another job for you, Commander. A little clandestine operation. You're gonna have to get your tires dirty on terra firma. I'll explain the details as we go, but first you better deploy your landing gear and get this Diamondback on the ground. Try to pick a spot out of range of that settlement just ahead of you. You're gonna need to infiltrate it later, so if they can't see you coming, it's a
Landing
bonus.
gear deployed.
This is some rugged terrain, so it may take some time to find a suitable spot to touch down. Slow, incremental movements are best here, Commander. If you're having trouble, just keep an eye on the terrain scanner. When the ship indicator goes blue, means you've got a suitable landing area.
Okay, so now obviously I've done planetary landings before, so I kind of know what I'm doing here. And you don't have to land on a flat surface, you can land on ones that are a little bit
Great,
crooked.
you're on the ground. Now comes the fun part, Commander. Open up your roll switch panel, select your Scarab SRV, and deploy it.
Okay, so there we are. Now this is the bit that really people need help with. So it's space or fire button to select it, and then you deploy.
Drive assist on.
Now you always come out facing the
Okay,
back.
you got wheels on the ground. Now you need to get the SRV clear of the ship before it becomes fully operational.
Now they don't tell you the controls.
Gravity will affect the way your SRV handles.
So
I'm reading only about 0.1 of a G, so bear that in mind before you hit any bumps. The more wheels you have on the ground, the easier that thing is to control. And hey, you can use your vertical thrusters if you get into trouble. Handy way to jump over obstacles, too.
So the x-axis for me at least is the same as my roll axis for flying.
Okay, I've set a waypoint for
And this
the
is vertical
nearby
thrusters and
settlement.
what it does.
You're going in under the radar, so try not to draw too much attention.
So one thing about SRVs is, remember this, that their turret sticks out over the top of the SRV. So if you're coming up to a target and there's something you have to shoot at, you could actually get away with just sniping them off with the turret sticking out the top, and you can still target them even though you are not right there. Now something they haven't been over yet is the wave scanner, which you can see above the little SRV icon down there at the bottom. The wave scanner will point at different things of interest for you, and depending on what sound they make, as you can hear now, and also the waveform of it will tell you I guess what kind of object it is, where it is, how big it is, how close. As it gets louder, the closer you get.
Your primary objective here is to disable the power grid by hacking the data link. Before you do that, though, you'll need to take out the local defenses. You can destroy the generator using your turret-mounted multi-cannon.
See, it's interesting they say turret-mounted multi-cannon because it is not. It is a dual-fire plasma repeater.
If you're having trouble finding the generator, just follow the waypoint, Commander. It's not far.
Now see this to take out the generator, so already I'm doing classic me, which is ignoring what the tutorial mission says, and it's getting carried away because the generator is in fact behind.
Great work. The generator's offline. You're in the clear. Now, approach the data link and target it. Then you can switch to turret view and use secondary fire to activate the data link scanner. Hacking this data link should kill the power grid. Just keep the target visible when you're scanning and wait for the process to complete.
Okay, so scanning it with secondary fire. Now I've set my turret control to my hat.
Your work here is done, Commander. Just remember that data is a valuable commodity, so if you're willing to take the risk, hacking data points can be worthwhile. But believe me, it always pays to have a plan of attack before you infiltrate a secure facility.
Which is something I never actually do. So they're not going to tell us how to go back to our ship? Oh, okay, interesting. So I do feel like they need to add these things in. It may seem a little bit tedious and boring for an experienced commander, but for a new one, definitely needed in my opinion. Okay, so last training mission. We're having a look at ship launched fighter training. So again, I know what I'm doing with this. I've done it before. I even did a video about ship launched fighters and my opinion on them. I'll be doing a new one soon because my opinions have changed. So let's get involved. So here I am in a killback. I've never actually flown a killback before, so this is going to be interesting, I guess. But I'm not sure how much flying of the killback I'm going to get to do.
I've set up a meeting, Commander. We're going to be exchanging some valuable cargo. Our contact should be dropping in any minute now, but listen, be on the lookout for anything strange. I can't say I fully trust who we're dealing with here, and this is a critical mission.
I feel like a lot of these locations here are all absolutely amazing looking. Like, I don't know where you would find this. So let's remember the Alcor system and I'll go check it out later on.
This keelback won't be able to hold them off. You're going to need to deploy the fighter to take them down. Open up the roll switch panel, select the Condor, and deploy it. This will engage the telepresence link to the fighter.
Okay, deploying the fighter because they told me to. And again, I'm going to carry on talking over the top of this woman the whole time.
Great. Fighter is successfully deployed. You're going to need to do your best to protect the mothership, Commander. We can't afford to lose this cargo. The Condor is much more nimble than a Viper, so you should be able to stay out of their firing line.
Now, I tend not to actually fly my own fighter most of the time, to be honest. I tend to let the NPCs do it, just because they're much better with fixed weapons than a human pilot would be. Now, if I can... Oh, this guy. So, something that from flying bigger ships a lot of the time, I'm going to say that my actual piloting has suffered from it. And something I'm looking to do over the new year is going to be get back into smaller ships. Because smaller ships are, in my opinion anyway, a bit more of a mastery in order to fly them. There we go, I've got this guy. So it's a little bit more difficult, I would say, to get used to flying them and stuff like that, because of the manoeuvrability versus the bigger ships. You don't have to worry too much about oversteer and that type of thing.
You've come a long way from that stranded pilot I pulled out of an asteroid field. It's good to know I can call on you when things get dangerous.
And important, she pulled me out there with a repair drone that do not exist in the actual game themselves. Interesting. And again, it doesn't tell you how to recall your fighter. I'm guessing you're supposed to work all this out on your own. I mean, I did, kind of. But then again, I had a lot of beta access videos to watch on YouTube. So other commanders do cover that type of thing. I certainly had a watch of that to get an idea. So that's part 2 done. I'm going to be looking at the challenge scenarios next video, giving it a go, and you guys can obviously have a laugh at me failing the challenge scenarios quite a bit, I imagine. Now there's loads more coming soon, guys, so I want to thank you for watching. Remember, like, subscribe, leave a comment if you've ever played the training missions, what you think needs to be improved with them, and whether or not they were there when you started the game and how beneficial they would have been. Because a lot of experienced commanders like me, we just had videos, and you know what? A lot of people learn better by doing. But once again, thank you for watching. Commander Plater out.